Hey, this is Matt from InvestorQuant. Today is Tuesday, June 23rd, 2020. And this morning we saw gaps up above the prior day high. And since then, we've kind of had mixed markets across the board. So with the ES up here in the top left, you can see we opened above prior day high. We kind of consolidated and tried to fill the gap, never made it, and have since started working our way higher. NASDAQ, on the other hand, has been strong all morning and kept going higher and continuing that run up to the highs here going into the afternoon session. And then we've kind of got some mixed activity going into the Russell and the YM, where both are kind of consolidating here, a little bit weaker than ES and NASDAQ. So since we've got all kinds of different price action, I'm just going to build some price action based off of what is happening in the ES so far today. So what we saw this morning was a gap above the prior day high. Our open is in the top half of the range. We are trading above the open, and we did not fill the gap. So those are the key pieces of information I'm going to use for this study I am about to run. So let me set this up in Discover. We will look at all four instruments. We'll use an intraday time-based entry, and let's use 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time. This will be a long at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time, exiting at the close 4:15 p.m. Eastern Time. The opening filter we're going to use is gapping up above the prior day high. And then I'm going to go into post-open filters. I'm going to select that the gap has not filled, that the open is in the top half of the intraday range. That is currently true. However, if we started getting some major range expansion to the upside, that may not be true. As the range would expand, that could make the open move down below the midpoint. But currently, the open is in the top half of the range, and we're trading above the open. So by definition, that means we are trading above the midpoint. And that's all I'm going to use for this study. And then I'm going to click View Results. So here we go. So these results are based off of going long at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time. When you open above the prior day high, you do not trade down to the prior day's closing price, and the open is in the top half of the intraday range. You're trading above the open at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So that kind of summarizes the price action that we see as of now for the ES. And looking at the results, looks like this has happened 37 times historically in the ES, so not a ton of samples. NASDAQ has just under 30 at 29, YM 31, and Russell the fewest at 19. And win rates, looks like ES, pretty bullish historically, 73%. It is only 37 samples, but that has definitely favored the long side more historically than the short side. NASDAQ is more neutral on this pattern, so not seeing any sort of edge there. YM and Russell both favoring the bullish side as well. So 3 of the 4 instruments are in agreement that this pattern has historically favored the longs. None of them have favored the short side. So historically, this looks like this has leaned to the upside going into the close. And this again is based off of a 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time entry and exiting at the close of regular trading hours. Before I sign off here, just a reminder, our webinar Thursday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time. This webinar is going to be great for those of you who like to build automated strategies, who like to trade rules-based strategies. Maybe you haven't built an automated strategy yet, but you like to trade based off of rules that are based off of quantified stats. So for those of you that are like that, this will be a good webinar to show up to. We'll show you some way that we can possibly help you with that. All right, that is it for today. Good luck the rest of the day, and we will see you tomorrow.